Hello and welcome to Vitality Women Leading Audaciously. Today, I'm so excited to have our honored guest, Shana Chatterain. Did I say that right, Chatterain?
Shaterian, yeah.
Shaterian. It's so much prettier. It sounds like you're an angelic being. Oh my gosh. She is the founder of the Soledad House, and it's a program for sober living and a recovery program. And this is something that we have never talked about on the Vitality podcast. So I'm really excited to have her here. For those of you who can't see her, she is like the most angelic being. She's so vital. She's so beautiful and she's so elegant. Before she showed up on the show, I was like, it's very rare to have a woman in charge of 9 centers. It's a lot. That's a big number. And usually you've got to have a little bit of grit to you, and you're just such a gentle, beautiful woman. So thank you so much for being on the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
So I'd love for you, if you would be willing to share with us your story of how you got here to doing this.
Um, I'm so grateful to be here today. I didn't found the company, but I am the CEO and I have been overseeing it for the past 10 years now. So I'm grateful for this opportunity. We're an all women's program. And so I'm a perfect fit to do that here. My life wasn't always pretty and looking good from the outside. I've battled so many things my whole life. I never quite felt like I fit in growing up. My brother was always an overachiever. And just that feeling of not being good enough for so long, I started turning to substances, relationships, attention from the opposite sex, anything to make me feel good enough, anything to just take the edge off of how I was feeling. I didn't feel good in my own body and who I was. So I turned to all of these other things, dealt with anxiety, depression, was in the grips of addiction. And, eventually I got out. I was able to recover. And today I oversee Soledad House. We have 70 beds here in San Diego. And I'm grateful to be the person to help these other women who are currently struggling and show them the way. Like, your life doesn't have to look like that. No matter how many, difficult challenges you've dealt with, you don't have to turn to drugs and alcohol for a solution.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, it sounds like it's been, a tough journey for you, but that what you're doing is so aligned with your healing and your own personal recovery.
Yeah, absolutely. Every day is a reminder of what it looks like out there, and that so many people are struggling. A lot of people are not okay and they're afraid to ask for help. And I have the honor of helping the women that have the courage to ask for help, and we're here to support them.
Yeah, I mean, women are so good at kind of just handling it all and looking good on the outside and having so much suffering on the inside. And it just takes such a level of vulnerability before somebody hits that rock bottom in order to actually get help. And it's quite confronting. And it's a real challenge. We don't have addiction in our family, but I have a lot of people close to me who are either recovering or are in a process right now around managing their addiction. And it affects way more people than we realize.
Yeah, life is tough. There are so many demands on people. And after a long day of work and stress and kids and family, people just want something to take the edge off, something to just decompress. I mean, it is 7 days a week, 365 days a year that we are called to work, be of service. It's a lot.
Yeah,
And
especially for
we
women.
don't have the tools to just take care of ourselves like we're supposed to.
Well, yeah, and that's a big part of what I do. I educate people on those tools, but I'll be honest, a lot of people who are working 3 jobs just to make ends meet, for them to consider a walk in the park
Mhm.
or planting a garden, I mean, it's just not realistic on a lot of levels. And it's tricky. I mean, so are the people that come into you, like, are they wealthy, affluent individuals, or are they people who are in poverty, or everything in between?
We have everything in between. So addiction doesn't affect just one race or one social class, or no matter where you are on the spectrum. We've had people come to our program flying in on a private plane, and we have people coming to our program who don't have a dollar to their name. So it affects everyone from all walks of life.
I mean, I honestly believe we're all in recovery on some level, whether it's from, our thought patterns or the blame shame cycle that we're addicted to feeling. I think we're all in recovery. And so outside of being a women's only program, which I think provides a very rich environment for transformation, just having women supporting and lifting other women, there's some magic there. We've been doing
Yes.
it for centuries, but what else makes Soledad House unique?
So the community that we offer, you're going to be here with other women who have been through what you've been through. We feel alone. We feel burdened. Like I'm a stay-at-home mom, right? You hear that all the time. And so you're expected to work 7 days a week, never have a break, take care of the kids. And we want you to be able to relate to other women who have been in your shoes. The other piece that sets us apart is we are going to do a full, thorough intake assessment. So we dive deep with each client. We're not a surface level program, and we want to find out everything in your life. What has happened from childhood? What are any trauma, abuse? Did you not feel loved? Did a parent go to jail or prison? What happened in your life? And we want to find out all of that information. We're going to address the physical aspect, the spiritual, and the mental aspect of the addiction. So we address all of it. We work collaboratively with our entire clinical team, and it's made up of doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists. We have a whole team to support each client that comes through our program. And Jennifer, a cool thing is I've actually had a client who went through our program 14 years ago when she turned 18, stayed sober, has 14 years sober today, and now she's a therapist, a licensed therapist serving these women.
That's
We
incredible.
see that
Wow.
so much here, and that's really a gift too that we get to provide.
Yeah, because most recovery centers are really just in and out, and they're not really building community, and they're not really caring for the whole person. So I have to ask though, are you guys looking at nutrition for your gals in house?
Yeah, we look at so many different aspects. So it's not just going to be the individual therapy and the group therapy that's going to be the cure all. It's the whole person. So, yes, they are going to look at nutrition because also a lot of women with substance use problems have some kind of
Deficiency.
image, body
Oh,
dysmorphia, eating disorder
yeah.
stuff. So we
Oh,
want to address the nutrition. We also do yoga here. We do beach walks, meditation.
oh.
There's so many things that are helpful
Hmm.
in overcoming day-to-day stress, trauma. Life happens, right? The unknown. I'm uncomfortable in my own skin. I just got divorced, right? We want to help them through all of these major milestones in their life. And there's a lot of resources that we use to do that.
So beautiful. I'm such a gift that you're offering to these women, because we're not meant to do it alone, and we really need each other.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are listening, if you are struggling with any kind of addiction, I just want to level the playing field. Everybody is struggling on some level with some kind of addiction. It's just, you're not alone. And there's help out there. And there are people who are honest and who are loving, and who are there to support you. And I think that women especially want to hide it. And we're afraid it's going to be the scarlet letter. that brands us for our life, and not getting the help in time is probably a big problem from what you've seen, I'm assuming.
Yeah. And I also want to encourage women, mothers, working women, what you're seeing on social media of everyone having it all together. And, every holiday, their house is decorated and everything looks perfect. And that's not real life, and we cannot compare ourselves to other people's highlights of their life.
Comparison is such a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
I can't say that I don't do it, right? Because I do, but I think I've tried to make it more about discernment. And like, if I feel like envious, or I feel jealous, those kinds of emotions that we all have, I'm like, oh, actually, I really want that.
Mhm.
Oh, I want to create that. So I've been able to help, but it wasn't always like that. Not in my 20s or in my 30s. It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
So it just takes its own time. And so you're a mom as well. Like, you are the CEO of the Soledad House. So you're very busy caring for the teams and the women that are in your 70 beds.
Yeah.
And but you also have to take care of yourself,
Yes.
especially as a mom. You're like a mom to many.
Yeah, I am. I know.
Well, like, how do you do it? How do you kind of manage the balance or the flow of your life? How do you strike that flow?
Oh, every day is a learning experience. I have two kids. I have a 7-month-old baby and a 3-year-old son. So I have a girl and a boy. With my son, my entire life got flipped upside down. I didn't know what was happening. I had postpartum depression. I was struggling so much. I had a lot of anxiety. I just did not know why my kid was crying all the time. And I just needed a break. And my life was so structured. I would wake up for prayer and meditation every day. I had so much peace. I was on the right path in life. I got married. Everything had fallen into place. And then everything got flipped upside down. And I was afraid to pick up the phone to call someone to be like, hey, I need help. I'm not okay. I need a day off. I was jealous of my husband going to work every day. I was like, I want to go to work. I need a day away from the baby.
You are not alone on that. I know many women listening feel the same way.
Absolutely. And I just want to say that as a relatable thing. It happens to so many people.
Yeah,
And
and they feel ashamed. Like, they're not supposed to feel that way. Like, that's wrong. I mean, it's
yeah,
very natural.
yeah. My life was fun and I traveled a lot. I didn't know I was going to grieve my old, I was like, what have I done? I would sometimes wake up in the middle of the night to feed our baby and be like, I hate my life. This is a nightmare, and felt so guilty.
Mm,
So much shame, even thinking that and feeling that, knowing so many other women were trying so hard just to get pregnant.
right.
But today, everything is a learning experience. I take it day by day, and I trust that all of these obstacles in my life today are here for a reason. And
Mhm.
us mothers, we experience the same problems for a reason, right? It's so that when we overcome them, we can reach out to the next person and be like, hey, it's okay.
I
It's
got your back.
okay
Yeah, like,
to
you
not
got you
be
got this.
okay.
I love that.
And
Thank
so
you
I
for
think
good.
it's not a coincidence that we're all dealing with the same things. But what I do is what's different for me over the past 3 years is I've just taken a lot of the pressure off of myself. So you know what, this morning I needed to sleep in, so I didn't have time to wake up and sit down to get some quiet time and some time for prayer and meditation this morning. I didn't have the time. But you know what, that's okay. I got a lot of rest and I'm okay. And tomorrow, if I get the time to just have some time to sit and be at peace and just have some quiet time for maybe 20 minutes, that's awesome. And
Mm,
I'm going to take it all and I'm going to be present for that time.
mm.
I have to take care of myself. You hear on the airplanes all the time, put your mask on first before you put the mask on
That's
your
right.
child.
Yeah, that's right.
We need the oxygen first.
Yeah, well, I just
Today I'm
really
focusing on that.
so appreciate you sharing so vulnerably about what you went through. It's really powerful, powerful share. And also, I, like you, believe that there's a plan, even though I can't understand it today.
Yeah.
Looking back on my life, I know that every single thing happened for me, not to me, and that it fit into this puzzle that's coming together, and the picture becomes more vibrant every day, as I get
Yeah.
older. And there are a lot of people who don't believe that, that there is some greater plan, and that's okay too. But I don't know, there's something about that belief alone that just has me feel more relaxed, has me feel like it's going to be okay no matter what, and that the universe is conspiring, or God is planning for my success, and that there's something that I may not be able to wrap my head around. So I really appreciate you bringing that to the forefront as
I
part of your.
totally agree with you on that. I feel that is exactly the pressure that we need taken off of our shoulders. And the truth is, Jennifer, you've had years and years and years of experience of that being true. A relationship got taken out of your life and God blessed you with a better relationship. A career got taken out of your life and you got a better career.
Yeah.
And so when you have so much experience of that over your life, it's going to be hard at this time to think, you know what? I think something good is going to come out of this, because over my life, something good has always come out of it.
And it's that very expectation that generates what you're magnetizing and what you're creating. And I think we forget how powerful we are as creators of our reality, our future, our present. And it almost seems like that is in opposition to what we just said a moment ago, that there is this greater plan and it's working itself out. Yet we still have the a will and the ability to generate outcomes in our day to day, like going to a Soledad House to get help, or a place like that near you, because you're in San Diego.
Yeah.
But there aren't. I have a feeling your program is very different than your typical recovery,
Yeah.
programs. Yeah, it sounds very holistic, and it's really special.
Yeah. And a big thing for us is we're going to point you to the power greater than yourself. So you don't feel like you have to carry the burden and the pressure of life, because that's a lot. And then the pandemic hit, right? And then
Yeah.
just this wave of unknown for 2 years.
Oh my gosh, it's been quite a ride. I'm sure your beds have been
How are you
full.
supposed to deal with that, right? We want to help you deal with that. We've been dealing with it for so many years. So,
Oh, and addiction is at an all-time high. I mean, it
yeah.
is.
And mental health.
Even
Yep.
worse. Yeah. Well, they go hand in hand for
Yep.
sure. It's a struggle. You need a lot of resilience. I am a lucky person. I was raised, by somebody who was in the 12-step program. She was in Food Addicts Anonymous, now known as OA, Overeaters Anonymous. So I grew up with like the 12-step program on my kitchen table. And I was also really loved. So I feel like I have an advantage,
Mhm.
because I grew up understanding addiction, and the addiction that we were dealing with wasn't one that you could just kind of stop drinking or stop taking drugs. Like, we had to confront the addiction every day of our lives because we were eating food. And so abstinence for us looked like no flour, no sugar, and it still
Mhm.
does. And that's like, 40 plus years later. Mom died, and one of her causes of death was severe obesity. So I really understand addiction and food compulsion firsthand.
Mm.
And my best friend growing up, her mom was in and out of NA. And
Okay.
so it's ubiquitous.
Yeah.
It's all around us. And to think that it's not me or couldn't be me, like it can be, it's all of us.
Yeah. And it's not a bad thing because so much good has come out of each person's story that has come through our program. So many people are like, I don't know how you do what you do. And,
Your
I'm
heart.
able to
It's your
sit
heart.
back and think, oh, I feel so blessed to be able to do what I do. And I get so many phone calls and pictures of children, all of the blessings of how different their lives look.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's amazing.
It is amazing. And on those days, oh, and I just want to go back before I ask you this question. Um, folks, most of us listening to this are type A people. And we are so hard on ourselves when we don't get up to do the exercise or the meditation that we plan to do. And so I just want to acknowledge what a great reminder you are for just allowing, like, I need to sleep this morning.
Yeah.
And the discernment, that, there's a line there between laziness, and then the aggression of overdoing too. So there's that, there's that. But when you're really tired, what is your go-to to kind of restore yourself to vitality? What is your go-to?
I've learned a lot from my children. So they are 100% present in each moment of what they're doing. When they're watching
Right.
TV, they're 100% watching TV. When my son is digging up my entire backyard, he is 100% digging. When he's eating, he's eating. He's not thinking and worrying about, I wonder, where the food's going to come from. And he doesn't worry about anything. The food is always there. His clothes are always clean. So wherever they are, I just take a second and we're lucky to live in San Diego. I sit outside and just literally take a couple breaths of fresh air. I look into the sky at the clouds. I take in the trees and I try to just be right where I'm at. I don't need to worry about, what's going on with work. I don't need to worry about dinner. I don't need to worry about the 700 emails from school. I am going to be right where my feet are.
That's a great reminder. So your pathway to restoration is presence.
Yes.
That is so beautiful. It's such a great reminder for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any last words of wisdom that you'd like to leave our listeners with, or anything that you'd like to add that we haven't covered?
I just want to let everyone know that every day is a new day. Sometimes I don't take care of myself and I come home from work and I'm exhausted and I cannot handle being with my kids and all of their needs. And sometimes I'm not the woman that I want to be for them, but I have the opportunity to apologize to them, to be the role model to them. And I have the opportunity to start over every morning on a clean slate. So no matter what happened yesterday, today I can continue to be my best self and try to do what I need to do to take care of myself so I can take care of others.
That's so beautiful. So much allowance, accepting, and forgiving, I hear in everything that you've spoken about today. And may all of our listeners just be touched by that. Because the more we can do that with ourselves, and Shana is such a great reminder of how we can accept, love, and forgive ourselves, the better off we're going to be as parents and entrepreneurs, and to each other as friends and sisters and daughters. And so thank you so much for the work that you do, for the presence that you bring with you, for being a great mom to the so many that you are a mom of, whether they're your biological children or not. And so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hello and welcome to Vitality Women Leading Audaciously. Today, my honored guest is Shana Penny, the CEO of Soledad House, a all women recovery program. And honestly, I've never heard of an all women. I'm sure there are some out there, but this is such a powerful, powerful space for healing. The Soledad House Recovery Program. Welcome, Shana.
Thank you so much.